Now on the CTV News at 5. The province admits classroom conditions are more complex, but there's still no deal in the 10-day-old teacher strike. Plus, why a report on allegations of corruption over health contracts isn't being made public yet. And the hopes of Canadians are riding on a win tonight from the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 3 of the ALCS.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us. We are only 5 days away from the municipal election, and last night the Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce held a forum for election candidates. Our Quinn Keenan was there and has this report.
Hundreds of spectators gathered at Yates Memorial Theatre to hear from the people who will make up Lethbridge's next city council. Before the formal presentations, voters were able to meet with the candidates one-on-one.
I've really been enjoying getting out to, there's been a bunch of smaller forums, meet and greets, things like that have been happening over the past month or so now, and they've all been really amazing. I've had plenty of opportunities to talk to so many different people across the city.
It's an important campaign stop for the candidates, but perhaps equally important for the undecided voters. Many will likely decide who they're voting for based on hearing what the candidates had to say.
I would like to participate, starting this meeting, so I would see my advice, what my options are. If there's anything needs to be said, I can say it.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity to meet the candidates face to face and build a relationship so that we can work together as partners.
Many different issues were raised, but some common talking points were affordability, reevaluating how taxes are collected, and the proposed third bridge. Feedback received from the potential voters will also help inform the candidates if and when they're elected.
I'm hearing issues such as accessoride, transit was a big one. It's always, you're going to hear about affordability, taxes. You're going to hear a bit about the third bridge, not as much as you did 2 months ago because the bridge is almost back to normal. So those are the issues you always hear about.
Even in the age of internet and digital media, candidates still see events like these as being valuable.
This is very important, the face-to-face interactions, because it's not the same on social media or on Facebook. So this is important for us to be here, for the organizers, as well as the citizens to come out.
Advanced voting is open until Saturday. Polls will then reopen on Election Day next Monday. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Meanwhile, as negotiations between teachers and the province continue, the province admits that classroom conditions have become much more complex. The province responded to an Angus Reid poll that showed most Albertans siding with teachers in the education dispute. Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides said in a statement that population growth and classroom complexity are major causes of teachers' difficulties. He also said the province plans to increase salaries and hire more teachers as well as educational assistants. Now, the province last week received a new proposal from the Alberta Teachers Association, which represents the 51,000 teachers. Finance Minister Nate Horner says there is a major divide, though, between what is being asked for and what the government is willing to spend, a $2 billion divide. A mediator is involved in the bargaining. The president of the Alberta Teachers Association says teachers are standing up for their crumbling classrooms.
It is not fair to teachers. It's not fair to students. It's not fair to their parents. It's not fair to the people who are working day in and day out in classrooms, struggling to meet the needs of everybody and watching our students fall through the cracks. We can't keep kicking this down the road.
Teachers walked off the job October the 6th. They do not receive strike pay. No new talks are scheduled. Alberta Health Services is laying off about 100 employees and eliminating 300 vacant positions. The vast majority are jobs in IT, finance, and human resources, along with community engagement and communications. This represents about 0.4% of the AHS workforce. According to the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, the layoffs impact non-unionized staff, and no doctors or nurses are impacted. And the province has received a final report today on allegations of corruption over health contracts, but it won't be making it public until government officials have had a chance to review it. A Manitoba judge looked into whether there were conflicts of interest involving staff at the health ministry. Alberta Health Services or companies involved with AHS contracts. Now, the former AHS CEO alleged Individuals high in government interfered in overpriced deals for private surgical companies and medical suppliers. The RCMP and Alberta's Auditor General also launched investigations but have not released their findings yet. All right, Danielle Savoni, I believe you said today is the warmest day of the week. Is that right?
Tomorrow for most places, but today is certainly a lot warmer than yesterday. Yesterday we were in the single digits, and check this out, we got into the teens. So yes, and it comes with sunshine in most areas, even though this says mostly cloudy, we're seeing mainly sunny skies. So we are looking at mainly sunny skies. We are looking at warmer temperatures, 13 degrees. So we did get into the teens, Pincher Creek, Lethbridge, Brooks, Medicine Hat, just 10. And the reason is that system that's stateside that's mainly affecting southern Saskatchewan, but you can see it's clipping really the far southeast corner. So Medicine Hat, you have the chance of isolated showers up until about 7, 8 o'clock tonight, and then that moves on out. Yes, warmer tomorrow. I'll show you that coming up. Jack.
All right. Thanks, Danielle. 2 people from Medicine Hat are facing charges of drug production in that city. On October the 9th, the Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team, RCMP, and Medicine Hat Police Vice searched a home on 12th Street Northwest. And this is what officers seized: $135,000 worth of drugs, including fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine, along with cash and drug-making supplies. 43-year-old Denani Lantz and 36-year-old Aaron Greenwood face a number of drug charges. Well, Alberta may no longer be known as Wild Rose Country, at least on its license plates. The government is updating Alberta license plates to now include the motto "Strong and Free." It's the English version of Alberta's official Latin motto, Fortis and Libre, but also a slogan often used by the United Conservative Party. There's an online bracket-style vote where Albertans can choose their favorite design among 8 different options. The new design will be announced in the legislature next fall. If you'd like to replace your old license plate with a new one, you'll have to pay a $28 fee. The federal Conservatives, for their part, have set their sights on youth unemployment, now at a 15-year high and more than double the national rate. They've come up with a plan they say will improve job prospects. CTV's Abigail Beeman took a look at the proposal and breaks down the issue for us.
Keep your hand up if you've applied to more than 20 jobs already.
The latest jobs numbers don't surprise this group of university students.
I must have applied to like 70 jobs or something like that, and most of them just don't get back to you.
Then you have to really push and be desperate for the job if you really want to get anything. And even then, there's all these AI screenings.
While Canada's unemployment rate sits at 7.1%, Statistics Canada puts youth unemployment at 14.7%, the highest since 2010, excluding COVID years.
We are calling on the government to take our constructive ideas and include them in Budget 2025.
The Conservatives released the rest of their youth jobs plan today. New pieces include a 1-year 100% capital cost tax write-off for employers that build housing for employees, and a change to the federal grant and loan financial assistance program to give more help for in-demand fields.
The government should establish a process for making objective determinations about what areas of study are more or less likely to lead to positive career outcomes.
Tax incentives. This is the solution that both Conservatives and Liberals have provided for basically every economic problem for decades.
This economist would like to see a bigger picture response focus on creating demand, while these students give the Conservative plan mixed reviews.
I think providing housing would give us more opportunities to get those jobs in smaller cities.
You can see a lot of, particularly the schools, pulling away from focusing on the arts, and I feel like by the Conservatives promoting this kind of plan, it may even further that.
The Jobs Minister's office tells CTV News the Liberal government has created more than 130,000 job opportunities for young people and promises more to say on youth unemployment soon. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
The U of L Pronghorns have launched their Giving Day campaign. The annual campaign has become one of the athletic program's biggest fundraising events. This is the 3rd time the Pronghorn Day of Giving will be held. The funds raised will be used to help support every varsity team. Money can be used for training, travel, nutrition, academic support, and more. Giving Day's impact has been felt by athletes over recent years, and the extra money helps them to compete at a higher level.
Yeah, it's huge. Even the small donations mean a big thing. 3 years ago, it actually sent our Rugby Sevens team to nationals in Montreal. which was really big for us and like one of the first times we were able to do that. Any bit of money has supported us in so many different ways.
Pronghorn Giving Day is November the 4th. Canadians are expecting to spend more this holiday season, but are still chasing discounts. A new report from Deloitte Canada shows the average Canadian will spend around $1,500 during the holiday shopping season, but much of it this month and next. Christmas shopping is expected to jump 3% this year compared to last year, with spending on gifts and experiences up. Non-gift purchases will be down 8% this year. The survey also found that nearly 3/4 of Canadians are willing to shop locally, but online shopping at places like Amazon remain a top choice for many.
Canadians are pulling that spend in earlier. So we're seeing that October and November will be big spending months. And this is earlier than, a typical economic cycle where December obviously is very heavily where that spend takes place.
Deloitte Canada also says that AI is helping shoppers craft their purchases this year, with half of respondents admitting to using it in the last 3 months. Danielle is back on the other side of this break with your 5-day forecast. Also, we'll tell you what the province has said it heard in healthcare feedback sessions.
Oh, what a beautiful day, and a little warmer than it has been for the past few days, which is quite nice. We've had single-digit highs for a while, and we got back into the teens in most communities. In fact, Calgary just pushed up to 14 degrees. So yes, teens is nice, mainly lower teens for most areas, or just barely into the double digits, but we'll get into those mid-teens in most areas in the far south for tomorrow. I'll show you that in a moment. 15, though, was the high in Edmonton, and still those single digits in Regina and Churchill. Okay. Fast forward, or looking at closer to home here, 14 degrees in Lethbridge and Pincher Creek, Calgary as well, and then 13 in Brooks and Medicine Hat. Well, we've seen more cloud cover, and we've seen an impact from that system that's mainly off in Saskatchewan. Here you go. So more cloud cover for sure. We also have these isolated pockets of showers, mainly again in Saskatchewan, but we will see some of that push into the Medicine Hat area, or at least just to the south. And we have the potential for isolated showers right up until about 8 o'clock tonight, and then that will push off fully into Saskatchewan. And then tomorrow will be very bright and warmer than today. And then things change. So here you go. There's a look at what's going to plummet in. This is cooler air for the most part. So we're going to see really cool air to the far north, central Alberta. Parts like Calgary, for example, will notice a difference, but the far south will hang on to some warmth. In many cases, still hanging on to the double digits after this cold front swipes through, heading into the weekend. The long range forecast I'll show you in just a moment here, but just to give you an indication of conditions, again, you can see Medicine Hat and south up until about 8 o'clock tonight, and then that shifts off and out. And then this is tomorrow. Tomorrow is mainly bright in the far south. And then here's that cold front that starts to arrive. So the clouds will start to push in late Thursday, so Thursday night. And then by Friday morning and in through the early afternoon, we have the potential for showers and higher elevations, even some wet snowflakes mixed in with that. But you can see that Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge, Brooks included in this, the potential for showers on Friday because of this cold front swiping through, and then some somewhat cooler temperatures. -4 overnight in the East Kootenay area, with the wind chill feeling more like -7, and tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. feeling more like -6 with the wind chill. So cool to start, but getting up to a high of 12 tomorrow with mainly sunny skies. Karunsas Pass -2, feeling more like -6 overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning, feeling more like -6, even -10, because it will still be below freezing early in the morning, and then we have those gusts up to 50 kilometers per hour in the morning. So that will feel cool in the morning hours, but then it will get us up to 15 degrees because it will be predominantly out of the west, so mainly sunny. 15 in the afternoon, a really nice afternoon expected. Medicine Hat -2 overnight, plus fog patches, plus a wind chill of about -6, and then in the morning a wind chill of -6 at 8 a.m. but getting up to a high of 13 and mainly sunny skies. So more sunshine expected for you in Medicine Hat tomorrow compared to today. All right, Lethbridge, 16 degrees, so mid-teens tomorrow. It will be a little gusty out of the southwest at 50 kilometers per hour, but that combined with the sunshine is what will get those temperatures up for us. That cold front swipes through on Friday, gives us a good chance of showers, and as you can see, just 11 for Friday and Saturday.
provincial government says Albertans and frontline healthcare workers want a healthcare system that's easier to access and more responsive. The province is sharing the feedback from a second round of sessions with 2,000 Albertans from earlier this year. Health Minister Adriana LaGrange says the feedback led to 6 major recommendations, among them faster, fairer, and more culturally appropriate access to care, especially in rural, remote, and Indigenous communities. The report also calls for better allocation and coordination of staff, equipment, and infrastructure. The province says these ideas are informing decisions as the government splits Alberta Health Services into 4 new health agencies. The Canadian Medical Association releasing preliminary results from this year's National Physician Health Survey. 46% of physicians report high levels of burnout, a slight drop from 2021, but still well above pre-pandemic levels. 74% say they have experienced bullying, harassment, or discrimination on the job. The CMA says structural changes are needed to help physicians not just survive, but thrive.
And a lot of physicians just don't have the resources, whether it's human resources, and support and personnel and just investment in the institutions and the settings that we work in to deliver the high quality, effective care that we're trained to do and that we really want to give to patients.
There are some bright spots, though, including more physicians saying they're satisfied with their work-life balance. All of these issues will be discussed at a health ministers meeting tomorrow in Calgary. It will bring together all of the health ministers from across Canada, along with the major medical unions and associations. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, the Blue Jays and Jays fans are holding on to hope for a comeback after a disappointing 10-3 loss on Monday. Sports is next. Welcome back. Well, the WCBL has released its all-star teams for the 2025 season, and a number of Lethbridge Bulls were recognized after a very strong season. Pictures Levi Abbott and Donovan Gamez were named to the first All-Star team. Abbott had a particularly strong year, leading the league in ERA outfielder. Outfielder Bernie Socaris earned a spot on the second All-Star team. Rounding out the field is infielder Carter Clairhout, who managed a third team nod. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners goes tonight in Seattle. Toronto desperately needs a win, already trailing 2-0. Usually thousands of Canadian fans flood across the border to catch the game in action when Toronto visits, but between soaring ticket prices and heightened political tensions with the U.S., tonight's crowd might look a little different. CTV's Ben Mulger has that story.
The Blue Jays feel right at home in Seattle's T-Mobile Park, thanks to the support of Canadian fans who make the trip from British Columbia.
590, that's down the first baseline, 590.
With the Jays and Mariners competing for a spot in the World Series, demand for tickets has skyrocketed, along with the prices.
As soon as they knew that they were going up against Seattle, my phone messages were inundated with people wanting to get tickets for the Jays.
On Tuesday afternoon, the cheapest ticket for Game 3 was $266 Canadian on StubHub. A spot in a suite behind home plate for Friday's potential Game 5 is listed for over $4,000. Prices and politics could determine the size of the Canadian crowd.
Yes, but not as big as it used to be because of the American stuff. Like, I'm not going there, period. So I'm not going to see the games.
Seattle, leading 2-0, can reach their first ever World Series with 2 more victories.
Do you anticipate that there will be a lot of Canadian fans who manage to get tickets for tomorrow night's game?
I don't think it'll happen this time. I think Seattleites will buy up the tickets and outsell the Toronto fans.
Ticket broker Kingsley Bailey says demand on the Canadian side has dipped since the Jays dropped the first 2 games. But if they win one of the next 2, he expects prices to soar for Game 5.
Seattle hasn't gone to the playoffs for such a long time, so there's such a demand for that. And then you throw that into the fact that they're going up against a Canadian team and everybody's going to go down the I-5 to catch a game. So the demand is huge for tickets.
The Jays will be looking to extend the series and get home to the real friendly confines of the Rogers Centre for Games 6 and 7. Ben Mulger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Tonight's game starts at 6:08. Shane Bieber will take the mound tonight for Toronto. Lethbridge Hurricanes have yet to win at home so far this season. Tonight they'll have a chance as they welcome the Spokane Chiefs to town. This is the only time the Canes and Chiefs will play this season. The Chiefs, last year's Western Conference champions, sit 7th in the West with 8 points in 8 games. Lethbridge, meanwhile, has just 2 wins in 10 games so far. Puck drop tonight is at 7. Teams from across the BCHL are in Abbotsford and Chilliwack for the league's annual showcase. Bandits players are hoping to put on a show for scouts and get back to their winning ways. The Bandits managed to get that strong start they were looking for. They beat the Powell River Kings 5-3. Brooks dominated the game, out-shooting Powell River 42-23. The Bandits are currently playing the Prince George Spruce Kings. We'll bring you an update on that tomorrow. The Cranbrook Bucks, meanwhile, had a tougher game yesterday. After tying their game against Langley late, the Bucks would lose in overtime 4-3. The Bucks are playing Alberta tonight, Alberta Valley rather, in a game that is already underway. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, how far a group of Virginia workers went to find their store's missing cat when we come back. Now to the story of a rescue mission south of the border. That mission? To find a footloose cat named Francine. Sam Champion has the story.
She's been here 9 years. She is one of our top employees.
Wayne Snyder isn't kidding around. According to employees, Francine is a feline employee of the month at this Richmond, Virginia Lowe's.
When you come here, you look for her.
She went missing mid-September. Finding her became a top priority. The community-ran Instagram Where's Francine, dedicated to her search, attracting over 30,000 followers and lots of speculation on her disappearance.
That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself.
And the social campaign for Our Cat's return literally went viral.
The community got involved when they found out, because we really didn't know at first, where she was. We thought maybe she was hiding.
Turns out, after checking the store's cameras, Francine had wandered into the back of a delivery truck and was on a journey roughly 85 miles away to a distribution center in North Carolina.
I was pretty confident that we would find Francine. It was just going to be a matter of time. It was kind of going to be on her terms.
After more than 2 weeks searching, use of thermal drones, setting up several humane traps, and scouring over 246 cameras, Francine was found.
We were so elated. I mean, we were just, like almost a miracle.
As you can imagine, her long-awaited return left everyone feline good.
Yeah, we're glad to have her home.
Francine, safe and sound at home. Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.